everybody, it's Barbary, the Wexford Stamper. Welcome to my Monday Fun Day. Hope everyone is having a great evening on this nice, cool evening here in South Carolina. I'm so excited to have a second weekly live stream that I'm going to be doing every week. And I'm going to be focusing this Monday live stream on requests from my live stream friends. If they have any requests for things they'd like me to do, I'm going to do any requests and just things that I had been working on over the weekend. So I don't know, I just came up with this idea. Jean and me put our heads together, right, Jean? And we came up with the idea. So we'll see how it goes. I'm going to try my best. Doubling my live streaming and blogging will be a challenge, but I'm going to give it my best. And I think everybody will be really, really excited about some of the projects I have done. Hi, April and Mary Ruth. Nice to see everyone. And Jean and Dawn and Ann. I think I saw Ann up there and maybe Mary. Hello. Well, I'm glad you found me here on the Monday. This is not a usual day that I come on, so it's really great to have people here to watch. I bet you guys are all anxious to see this cool box card. Yes, it is kind of an old, I found out by looking at some of older Facebook Lives that it's not really a new, hey Joanne, it's not really a new kind of card design, but it can always be updated and you can always change it up a little bit. But it's great because it's a design that you can use with any card making suites or bundles that you might have at home. So let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty, I just want you to know, just like my Wednesday Facebook Lives, I will have a PDF available on my blog. So if you are interested in any of the dimensions, you don't have to worry about it while you're watching. Just sit back, relax, and watch the video. All that information plus a downloadable PDF will be available in my online store, on my blog, and all the materials that I use to make the project will be available in my online store. So let's go ahead and get started. I had originally posted this one. I was busy, but I like to watch football, but I don't like to just sit and watch football. I'm usually doing something, crafting or making cookies or something. So I really don't mind that part. I'm not really a good sitter. I can't sit and watch a movie or sit, and watch a football game. I've got to be doing something else. So, yeah, I had this idea and I just said, I'm going to do this and I can watch the games at the same time. I can multitask, right? I'm a woman just like you guys, right? Okay, now the downside of this is that this cheery basket, which is the one cheerful basket, I'm sorry, which is the one that I've used for this, is no longer available. I thought I saw it in the catalog, but it is not available in the catalog. So I'm so sorry about that. And because of that, I have made a different box card with one that is current. Many of you may have this cheery basket that I made this one with, but this is not made with current product. Now I did use some of the All About Autumn stamp, the sentiment, and the designer series paper on here is from All About Autumn, but the cat and the basket and the apples are all from the Cheerful Basket. And these leaves that I put in the back are from the All About Autumn suite as well. So I was super excited to show you this, and then I looked back in the catalog to get the details on the stamp set, and I noticed it's not in that anymore. I did see it on eBay, but you know, some of you may have it already. But it's a super cute set, and I always grab the ones that have the little cats in it. So this is the one that I showed you, and what's so super cool about this is it does fold up and fit right in an envelope, which is so super cool about this. It's just amazing to me that it can do that. It looks so big. Oh, you have that one, Jean. Excellent. All right, and it fits in here. So it's like, you know, an amazing 3D card that really pops up and is a wonderful surprise for the recipient. Now, so what I'm gonna do tonight is I'm gonna show you one you can make with a current suite. And I bet many of you have this one already. All right, let me put this aside. The one I made for this evening is made with the, let me make sure I get it right here, Cheerful Daisy Bundle. Okay, it has this stamp set, and this is the die set. Let me know if you have this bundle. You're right, April, it may need extra. I don't think the one I made would, but depends on how many pieces you put on it and how much bling and things like that. Okay. Hey, Deb. Hi, Diane Maluzio and Deb Gray. Great to see you folks. But this is the one I made with this set. And this one I'm really going to keep in the back of my brain because I think this is a great card. Not only does it make a beautiful birthday bouquet to give to someone. All right, Anne, you're ready to go. You've got your work cut out for you for the rest of the week. But this would be great for like a get well soon bouquet. And just like with the other one, it folds flat and goes right into an envelope. So that's the amazing part. This bouquet looks so big, but then with a little bit of care, it goes right into an envelope. Okay, well, good, April. You're gonna love this one. It's fun to make. All right, so, and there you have it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started on this. The first thing we're gonna do is concentrate on the box part, okay? And you'll just know that once you get this box part done, absolutely, you could make it for Christmas, and I have a Christmas one here to show you at the end of our time, but this would work for anything. We're gonna work on the card box bottom, and once you get that and understand that, you can really go and use it with any stamp set and dies. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and get started. What you're gonna need to make this box is a piece of Pretty Peacock cardstock measuring 8.5 by 5.5. So this is just a half a sheet of cardstock. So you're not using a whole lot of materials for this either, which is really nice. Okay, let's go ahead and do some scoring. I'm gonna bring in my trimmer scorer here, grab my bone folder. Now, on the long side, we're going to score at 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, and then on the short side, we're going to score at 2 3/4. That's it. Nothing too difficult. All right, so now I'm gonna keep, now that I think about it, I'm gonna keep my trimmer in here because cutting these little flaps here, I liked using the trimmer because the lines were a lot straighter. I don't know about you, but you know, when I cut with the scissors and I try to cut on the score line, sometimes it isn't as good as I'd like it to be. So I found that using my trimmer to cut these flaps apart was the best way to go. Okay, so let's go ahead. I have my piece here. It is all scored. Now I'm not gonna fold it yet. Okay, that's something else you wanna wait. You don't wanna fold it right away. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do here is, you'll notice on this side here, this is where that nice 1/2 inch scored panel is. The other 4 panels are the 2 inches, 2, 2, 2, 2. This little skinny one here on the end, we are going to remove the top portion of the skinny. That means from this horizontal score line and up, we're gonna get rid of that. And the way I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna put it in here in my trimmer, and I'm gonna put it right at the 1/2 inch line, and I'm gonna cut down until I line up with my horizontal score line here. So I'm gonna go all the way down, and then there's a little mark on the side here, and I'm gonna line that up right where my horizontal score line is and stop. Okay, let's take that out. Okay, and you can see what I did. I cut that off all the way down to that horizontal score line. Then I'm gonna take a scissors. Yeah, it's easier to use and get in the habit if you need it, especially a long score line that you have to cut out. Use your trimmer. I should probably do it more than I do. So I just cut that piece off. This section is going to help us attach the box together. All right, now we have these top pieces here, and those are all gonna be our flaps. This down here on the bottom, below this horizontal line, is gonna be our box. These above are gonna be the flaps, all right? So we're gonna put our paper back in to the trimmer. I turned it over so that the little flap here that we just cut is on the right. I'm gonna line it up with 2, okay? So we're gonna be cutting right down that first score line, and we're gonna cut all the way down again until we reach that horizontal, and we're gonna stop. Gonna pick it up, go to the 4. Start at the top again. I'm gonna cut all the way down until the little arrow points to the horizontal score line there. And one more. I'm gonna cut right there. I'm gonna start at the top again. And I'm at 6. Cut all the way down to that horizontal score line and stop. And there you have your little flaps. Now, turning it back over, that this is on the left again, this panel here is going to be the back panel. Let me show you right here. It's this panel here, whoops, that you want to stay straight. Okay, so that's another reason why we didn't do any of our creasing yet. So this panel here is going to stay, even though it has the score line there, we're not going to cut that or fold that. And we're also going to take, we're going to take 1 inch off these other flaps. So they're a little shorter than that. So what we're going to do is we're going to line this up along the top, and I'm going to go ahead and put this at 1 inch, and we're going to cut off 1 inch of these 3 panels. We're going to leave the one here whole. So I'm going to go down to the bottom, going to go all the way up at 1 inch and stop before we touch that last panel. So I'm going to stop right at the 2 inch line there. Okay, and there you can see exactly what I have here. Okay, So that's the basic template cut. All right. You're going to have this as your back piece, and then these are going to be your 3 little flaps. I hope that's makes sense to everybody. All right, let's go ahead and start doing some gluing. Okay, since this is going to be our back panel, I wanted to reinforce it a little bit. Okay, so I turned it over and I cut a piece of the cardboard from the DSP stack. And this is cut at 1 7/8 by 5 3/8. And I'm just gonna lay that right here on the back side of that large panel, because I want it to have a little bit of reinforcement. I want it to be stronger so that it stands up nice and firmly, and when the person gets the card, they'll be able to leave it on their desk and nothing will get droopy. Nothing's worse than a saggy card, right, girls? No, saggy anything really, right? All right, so I'm putting that on the back section of the card. Okay, now what I also did, if you want to do some stamping on the back, I would not recommend stamping on the cardboard. It's a little glossy. So what I would do is I would take a piece of regular white or basic white cardstock, cut at the same amount, that's 1 7/8 by 5 3/8, put a little bit of glue on that, and then put it on top. Then you can write your message, then you can stamp your greeting, whatever you want to do. That'll be ready to do that on the back. Is that making some sense? Hope so. Now, let's go ahead and turn it over. Now, this side of the large panel is going to be like our background for the back of our bouquet here. You can see it. Okay, it's back here standing up. And what I did is I took a piece of the designer series paper from the Fresh as a Daisy suite. Very, very pretty. Cut again at the 1 7/8 by 5 3/8. Come on, you. There we go. And I'm going to put that right here. Okay, so you're actually putting 3 layers of paper on that back panel. We want that to be nice and strong. So, okay, so that's, there we have that. Now we can go ahead and fold and crease the rest of our lines. Okay, I always put that there just to remind myself so I won't try to crease it when I start putting things together. So all these score lines here that we made, I'm going to go ahead and start creasing these. These are going to be the flaps, okay, that are on the sides, okay, just like here. I've seen some designs that the side flaps are just as long as the bottom. I just thought that was too much. So I thought to shorten them would be a little better. I've even thought about like putting them down and gluing them, and then you can just fold it over like that and put it in the envelope. Okay, because that's a pretty look as well. Now I also took some designer series paper and put it on the bottom section here, made it almost look like a little pot that the flowers were sitting in. Okay, so let's go ahead and put all that designer series paper on. Okay, let's do the flaps first. And I use the same color and the same design from the Fresh as a Daisy suite for those flaps. And those are cut at 2 5/8 by 1 7/8. So I'm going to go ahead and put those on. These are the flaps. Now you want to be careful because putting the box together, I almost put it on the wrong side of the box. Okay, the box is going to go together like this. Okay, so you might want to make sure you're putting it in the right place. Okay, so this little flap is going to flap up, and then the rest of it is going to fold over like that. Okay, so you're going to flap these down. So I want to put my pieces of cardstock here. Okay, so you might want to make sure you're putting it at the right spot. Almost did the wrong one there. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue these down. And I just measured them that they're each about 7/8 inch smaller than the panel. It is a very happy card. I think it would be a great get well card. You know how you like to send flowers to people? Well, here you can send flowers that will never get wilted, right? Okay, all right, so there we have that. Okay, so these are going to flap over like this. Okay, let's go ahead and build our box so we don't get any more confused. It might be a good idea to build it before you put on those last pieces. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and fold it over. And this is going to close the box. And you can see the project coming together so far. Okay, there we go. So if you feel like it, you can put a little dimensional under each of the flaps and keep it down flat. I've thought about that, might do it in a future project, or you can leave them up. And then when you close it, you can fold them up to put it in the envelope. So it's really, really up to you how you want to do it. All right, let's go ahead and put on our pieces that kind of represent our pot that our flowers are sitting in. These pieces are 1 5/8 by, let's see, 2 5/8. So these are a little larger than the flaps that flap down. Now, if you didn't cut those flaps like I did, they would be the exact same size. All right, and one more over on this side. And then we kind of have our basic box. Ooh, that's good, Mary. You can always borrow. I like borrowing. All right, so there's the box. Anybody have questions about how that came together? I hope I was pretty explicit about it. There will be directions on the blog to help you out. You can re-watch this if you need to, and you can always message me if there's an issue. But that is the basic box that you would make for any box card. Okay, the next two important parts are these two pieces of Pretty Peacock, and these measure 1 inch by 3 inch. And these are going to be what we call the bridges that go across the opening of the card that we attach all our pieces to. If you look in here, see if I can put it up there that you can see. You can kind of see in there the bridges that I put in there that I was able to connect my daisies to. Okay, there's 2 of them you put in there and they span across that open section. All right, let's go ahead and make those bridges. Very easy to make. You're going to take your trimmer again, and you're just going to score each one of these strips at 1/2 inch on each side. All right, so let's get that out of the way so I don't cut it off instead of score. And the other side. So we're at 1/2 inch on each side. So we're just kind of making a little joint. Let me do this one again. I didn't push down hard enough. That we're going to fold, and that part is going to attach to the side of the box. All right, here's another one. This is also 1 by 3. Score at 1/2. Turn the other way. Score at 1/2. Okay, so let's go ahead. And I'm just going to bend these 2 strips on the score lines and give them a good crease. And now we're going to construct the bridges that go across the bottom, not the bottom, but the inside of the box. Now, it really doesn't matter where exactly you place those, okay? No one's going to see them, but you want to put them, since you're putting in 2 of them, you want to like kind of divide this section into thirds. Okay, so what I did is, and I hope I can show this, my big old hand won't get in the way, but I'm going to go ahead and slide it inside, and then I'm going to just, with my fingers, press against the side. It's really easier coming in from the bottom. This is going to be hard for you to see for a minute because my big old basketball player hands are in the way. Oh, you're welcome, Deb. I don't know what got me inspired to do it, but I just have to look through like YouTube videos for 20 minutes and I've got so many. If it's not the specific project, it at least gives me some inspiration on what I could do. All right, so I've got 1 in here. Let me see if I can show you. Where's the, okay, you see how I put that in there? Okay. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect and it doesn't have to be in a specific place. You just want to make sure that it gives you, this is just going to give you space to attach your pieces. Okay, let's put a second one in. I'm going to put this one a little closer to the front. Slide it in. This one I didn't cut properly. Let me try again. Whew. I think I didn't get this scored at the right spot. Let me get another, I'm going to get another piece of, all right, let's see. I'm going to cut a piece off here. Oops, that's only a half. I did a bad job of scoring, and if it really has to have a good scoring job on it, or it's really gonna confuse you. It won't work. All right, there is my 1x3. Let's go ahead and score again at 1/2. Come on, Barb, these are easy dimensions. We aren't talking about 1/16 of an inch here. All right, and 1/2. Okay. I'm feeling more confident this time. Okay, put this aside. We'll go ahead and we're going to place this one in the front. Okay. I'm just going to slide it in between, in the spaces, and then I'm going to bring my hand up through the bottom. I think I'm going to back this one up a little bit. There we go. There, can you see those in there? How those bridges work? Very, very simple. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and arrange our daisies, okay? But this is the base design of any box card you're gonna make. Okay, so if you can get this down, then it'll be a breeze for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab the pieces for my daisy card here. I did some stamping and die cutting. I have 2 of the larger daisies and I have 3 of the smaller daisies. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of glue. And I'm going to just add the centers that are also die cuts from this set. This is a really great, happy set. Okay, let's see if I can grab these quick. So I'm just going to go ahead and place the centers on my flowers here. See, I'm gonna go like that. Like that. And there it is. I thought I messed it up. All right, so there are our 3 little flowers. Okay? All right, now, these are 1/2 inch strips by 2 inches. These are what I'm going to use to position my flowers on the bridges, and we'll get to those in a second. We also have these 2 little pieces of greenery. Oops, these still have some little pieces in there. These are also from the die cuts from the daisies. And these I'm just adding to add a little greenery. Give it a little more oomph and fill in some of the white space. So, yeah, there we go. All right. So let me go ahead and show you how I did this. The first thing you want to do is place something on the back, okay? The back of the box. Okay, now the object can go off the back of let's say that's the back panel. It can come off the back of the back panel, but it cannot go off like both sides, okay? You can't have some sticking off both sides. Yes, you do need it in your life, Deb. So you want to make sure of that, because let me show you what happens. Okay, you close it, okay? If you close it to the right, anything that hangs off on this side is going to be okay in the envelope. But if you had it hanging off both the left and the right, that stuff is going to be too wide. So if it's something you want to make and you want to make sure that it gets into an envelope, you want to be careful that you don't allow your background piece to go off on both sides, just the right. Okay? So if you look here, my daisy and my sentiment went off to the right-hand side. Nothing went off on the left-hand side on the back panel. Now some do go off to the left on the bridges, but that's okay because they're going to be folded over and they're going to fit. All right, so we're just focusing on the back panel right now. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my dimensionals and I'm going to attach this to the back panel. Okay, remember I said I'm going to go ahead and have it just go off a little bit on the right-hand side. Okay, never left, because if it's off to the left, then that part's going to stick out and you won't be able to get it in an envelope. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and place it right there. Okay, so we're safe there and we're off a little bit there. So good to go. Okay, so that is our first level of flowers. Now we're going to move up to the first bridge and we're going to add 2 flowers on that. Okay, so let's grab the smaller flowers and I'm going to adhere one of the little posts to each of the flowers. Okay, now I just went with the Pretty Peacock. It looks like stems, so nobody's going to notice. I have seen some demonstrators use the transparent plastic. If it's something that is going to be like a moon up in the sky or something that's up in the sky, you can use the, the transparency sheets, okay? And you have the little clear plastic sheets. But for this one, I just went with the Pretty Peacock and it'll work just fine. Okay, now if you notice here, I have on my second layer, I have one flower that's leaning to the right, and I mean left, and one to the right, okay? And when you put on each layer, you always want to check by closing it and make sure that it's over far enough and it's not going to interfere. Okay, so let's go ahead and put those 2 flowers on our next level. So our next level is this first little bridge right here. The first bridge away from the back. Okay, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue along the bottom. You don't need a lot. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and put it down into the box and glue it to the back side of the bridge. And what I did is I'm holding it against myself. I'm gluing it on a diagonal. Okay, because I want it to lean out a little bit. I guess that's the best way to put it. Another recommendation is you could use glue dots, because that's certainly going to adhere faster and you won't have all the drying time to wait. Let me go ahead and push down on that a little bit. Okay, looks like I don't have enough glue. Hold on my side panel. I'm going to take this off just for a second. My side panel is not happy. So let's go ahead and put that down and glue that down better. There we go. All right, back to it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to adhere that right there, leaning out just a little. Okay, and then the way you can see if it's going to be okay is to close it and make sure that it doesn't lean over. Okay, so even though it is leaning out like that, it's okay, because when we close it, it's along that line there and it's not going to stick out. Window sheets, that's it, Jean, thank you. I'm so glad you follow along with me. You're like my private assistant when I can't think of a word. Okay, next one, same thing. We're going to have it leaning out the other way. Okay, so I'm going to grab that first bridge and I'm going to get my big old basketball hands in there and I'm going to lean it out about as much as I did the first one. So you can kind of see that, how they're leaning out like that. Okay? Now, I'm going to go ahead and check again. They're both fine. Okay? So always after you position, close your box, put your flaps up, make sure nothing's sticking out along the 2 edges. Then you know that you're going to fit in your envelope just fine. Okay, so we have those 2 ready to go. And what I did is I put just a little bit of the greenery, took a couple little glue dots of glue, and I placed it just behind the flower on this side, just to give it a little more something something. Let me turn it this way. There we go. There we go. Okay, just a little greenery. Not necessary, but did it anyway. All right, now we're going to go ahead and move up to that second bridge. Okay, now if you look here on my second bridge, I put a large daisy and then I put a smaller daisy in front of it on dimensionals. Okay, so I'm still going to put this on the back of my flower, okay, just to give it a little extra stability, okay, but I am going to slide it in so that it is all the way down touching the bridge. See, watch how I do this, going down, and then it's going to go ahead and touch the bridge. So part of the bottom of the flower is on that bridge. You see that? Okay, it's glued right down to the bottom of the flower. Okay, try it again. Seems to be working. Okay, now let's see what's left here. Yep, everything's fitting. Last flower is going to go right here on the front of my big flower, and I'm just going to place that with dimensionals. Okay, so I'm going to grab a dimensional. I'm going to put it on the back of the smaller flower, and I'm going to go ahead and just adhere it right to the front of the larger daisy. Okay, I'm going to kind of put it over to the left a little bit so that you can see the center on the big flower. Does that look? And then I can fold it over, experiment, see if anything is hanging off either side. Nope. Open it back up. And there we got it. All right, I have one more piece of greenery, and I put that behind the large daisy at the front. Okay, so let me show you, I'll lay it down. I'm just gonna slide it behind, put a little bit of glue on there, slide it behind the large daisy, just so a little of it sticks out. You see that? See how that goes together in there? We've got our 2 on the back bridge and our 2 on the front bridge. Is that making some sense to everybody? All right, last thing we're going to do is add a sentiment. Okay, the sentiment I found, I wanted to make it a birthday flower bouquet. So I found this set, Lasting Joy, and I'm using birthday wishes. I thought that was perfect. And I cut out an oval out of the soft sea foam. I wanted to stay in the green family because I felt like there was so much white already in the bouquet that I didn't want to make a sentiment that was on a white piece of paper, cardstock. So that's why I went with a lighter green. I do that a lot. I check out the subtles in whatever color family I'm using and see if that would work better than putting another piece of the basic white. So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp Birthday Wishes in the Tuxedo Black ink. And then I am going to glue this directly to that back daisy. Let me show you how it's positioned here. See how it's oops, down there. See how I just stuck it right to the right hand side? Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and slide this in the back and just adhere it right to the upper right hand side of the box. Okay, now let's check it one more time. We're going to fold it over and fold the flaps up. It fits, it's going to fit. You just have to worry about anything sticking out on either side. Okay, looks like it's a winner. All right, so that will definitely fit in our envelope. Let me grab an envelope here. I think I have one somewhere. Yep. Okay, you're just going to fold it over and then fold up your flaps and then carefully stick it inside there. There it goes. It fits, people. It is a little thick. April, I know you brought up a very good point. You might, first time you make one, you might want to make sure that you take it to the post office and ask them if it's going to be extra postage, because it is rather thick. And then if you start adding all kinds of fanciness on it, it might be more. So I'd rather you check and then send rather than sending it and then it doesn't arrive. So, all right, let me pull it out and then open it up. And there it is. Isn't that correct? Nice. It worked. All right, one more thing to share with you. I have a Christmas one here, and this one is made with the bold, help again, Jean, Merry Bold and Bright. Merry Bold and Bright. This is using the Merry Bold and Bright suite. This one has the cute little Christmas lights. I just thought it was cute as well. So what I did here is I used those bridges again, and I just adhered a couple of the Christmas lights, and this is the great foil paper that makes it look so festive. And then again, we're gonna fold it to the right and fold up the flaps, and it'll slide right back into the envelope. So there you have it. Thank you everyone for all your positive feedback. I'm glad my first fun day went fabulously, but I am going to continue to do these as much as I can. I may have some that I won't, but I enjoy just sharing some things that I had been playing with over the weekend. So if you have anything you'd like to see, make sure that you message me. I'd love to get a challenge on a creation. I know Deb Gray asked me to make a box for the fragrance bottle that from the Bath and Body Works. I'm gonna work on that for Christmas as well. But give this a try. See if you can make one of these cute little box cards, and make sure that you take a picture of it and put it in the VIP group, because I'd love to see what you're making. And especially if you do have this cheerful basket one. So thanks for joining me on a Monday. I'm so happy that you enjoyed it. And I will be back on Wednesday with another Christmas project. So join me on Wednesday at 7 if you're around. And as always, keep on stamping. Bye-bye now.